We are also dealing with a lot of blood. It is diluted by the Lyco. We don't have egos. We don't have any problems. There's so much diluted with the Lyco. Right. Anyway, I just think about my career when I was walking into this program 12 years, 13 years before. I was so desperate to participate in one of this kind of a career guidance program. Unfortunately, that is in Colombo, so I couldn't make it. That time, to get into the obstetric field in 12, 13 years before, it's very difficult. You don't have much of seniors involved in that. So, with a passion, I was so struggled to get some idea about that. So, that's the background. Anyway, now you have a good opportunity. I would like to thank the JMA and our Wellbeing Center to organize this program continuously. Right. For the career guidance, of course, now a lot of speakers are already been explained about the pathways. So basically from the Rajendra's lectures, you have identified the PGIM pathway. So more or less all the specialities, the pathway is same: selection exam, training, exit exam, and then post-MD training, overseas, and board certificate. There are some minor variation, of course, that you can learn from the PGIM prospects. Now the question is to be an obstetrician and gynecologist. To be an obstetrician and gynecologist, what are the things, qualities you need to have or you need to develop? Not necessarily to have, you need to develop. It's not overnight learning also, on the job training as well. And what are the benefits? And what are of course there are challenges. And how the challenges, how we can overcome and negotiate. So the only 10 minutes they gave, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Right? So I will convince at least 5 or 6 people to become obstetricians. Okay. So obstetrics and gynecology, all of my students, so we have already been discussed. So
it's so easy to market.
It's a dynamic field. You have aware about that, you have worked with us. Obstetric medicine, medical problems we are handling. Surgery, more than blood, 1,000 and 1,500 BPH, everything, no egos, nothing problem. Right. And emergencies, all the labor room, every time, emergencies. Right. And life support. And radiological, most of the scans are done by us. Almost just sophisticated, we are just relying with the radiologist. Emergency, so that's so dynamic. So your personality, your thinking pattern, thought process also should be some kind of a dynamic. Okay, today I am going to do this walk round from bed 1 to bed 10, and then I will go to the labor ward, then I will go to the theatre clinic. No. So early morning, when we are going to the ward or what are the clinical settings, you have to prioritize what we are doing. So the first key element in obstetrics and gynecology, because we are dealing with the maternal women as well as the child in the gynecology matter, that is one of the leading indicators of health profile. Leading indicators of health profile. So fortunately and happily, proudly, I am also part of this team. The Sri Lanka is doing really, really well in the maternal and maternal health, morbidity and mortality profiles, and we are better in the South countries. Better. Best of. So how is possible? Because of the dedication of obstetric and gynecological team existing in Sri Lanka. Right. So, first thing is to be obstetrician and gynecology, be dynamic, thinking pattern, your physical, mental appearance and attitudes. And you have to have, as Professor Rajendra put some qualities, you can take it that so observation and vigilance and anticipation of the problem. If the mother pregnant or the mother in the labor ward, you can anticipate so many issues and prepare about that. And work-wise, since it's a dynamic as well as we are handling with the 2 lives and bit of the young physiological thing, always Dr. Balagobi is sarcastically telling that you are dealing with a 2-3 organ, he is doing 1,000 organ. Right. So, the maternal, very young people, physiological event, presenting 95% of pregnancies are uncomplicated. 90% of pregnancy are uncomplicated and the community-based system will handle that. Only the 5% become high risk. That will give all the disasters. So, the anticipation and very structured kind of assessment research. So, the people who have that qualities now, and of course, you have to learn some post-surgical skills, and there are now how surgical skills and the radiological scans and everything. So, these are the basic things as a obstetrician and gynecologist you need to understand. Work-wise, it's anyway, all the specialists are same, all the subspecialties are the same. It's also hard work, but it's more committed because we can't anticipate when the labor pain is going to start. You can't just, no, Amma, stop pushing. Tomorrow morning we'll start to push, keep on pushing. So we can't do like that. So in middle of the night, all the emergencies can come, the bleeding can come, postpartum hemorrhage, shoulder dystocia. Everything most of the time is coming around early 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So the involvement with the is important. Not only for our subject. Anyway, I will promote my subject. The challenges, well, that is very individual, my point of view. Challenge in obstetrics and gynecology, as Professor Rajendra said, after you become a trainee, if you start to regret something, that is not work. Or after becoming an obstetrician, why that my junior doctors are calling in the middle of the night and say, there's a mother came with the dribbling and port prolapse. Of course, we have to tell them. There is no regret for it. So, while you are choosing, when you are choosing that, think about this dynamic pattern of obstetrics and gynecology and how we have to committed for that and for the better outcome of the twins and the fetus. Right? Dr. Nirumba said that he resuscitated that hypoxic baby. Almost 85% antenatal is already hypoxic. So the blame is come to us. Right? You have to detect the fetal growth restriction. Nowadays, all the fetal medicine part is developing. You can detect the fetal growth restriction, all the blood flows and everything. Anticipate and timely deliver. Collaborate with them. Then you can get a better outcome. How much of in our Jakarta Teaching Hospital now after 28 weeks, almost 99% of survival without any cerebral insults. Most of the time. So that is a basic thing to be an obstetrician and gynecologist. Challenges, of course, I won't like to in too much of discussion with the challenging. My challenges are different. Sometimes your challenges might be different. But the commitment, time duration, as usual, they engage with the family life. Those things are bit of trouble in the field of obstetrics and gynecology. Okay, now what is our ultimate aim is to become a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology. That's a consultant we are going, but after this training process, after that, you have a plenty of opportunity to be a specialist in the Ministry of Health. Still, there are a lot of vacancies are there in Sri Lanka, in our northern province also. So you have a plenty of chances to get in a reasonably good places to work as an obstetrician and gynecologist. When you are passing. The second thing is, if you want to exit from, go and settle down in UK or whatever the abroad, you can use that opportunity also. I don't like to encourage them. I always encourage everybody to work in our country. But if you really want, that is of course your personal you can do that because our MD program is recognized by the GMC without any problem. After the MD and your some kind of English exam, you can register the GMC. And of course, the Australian exams also same. We don't have any problem when I was a trainee also. And other thing is like us, you can getting involved with academic program. So if you want to become a senior lecturer or the lecturer post in a clinical department of obstetrics and gynecology, the basic need is to qualify the MD in obstetrics and gynecology of the specialties and the board certification that is come as a SLQF 12 and become you can get in as a senior lecturer grade 2. That's why we did. So you can get into the academic department, you can get into the ministry as a specialist as well as. So there are plenty of opportunities also. So meanwhile, what are the other problematic or something still in Sri Lanka, the more litigations issues, legal issues are more in the field of obstetrics. Right, Scott, right? And anyway, all these things, this social media and everything fire up, that is usual for all the specialities. For us is double, right? So those are the concerns, but we don't bother about that. We are working hard, we are working genuine for the society. So this is the main concept I would like to emphasize to be an obstetrician and gynecologist. And second thing is there are two subspecialties are available. One is subfertility and another one is a gynae-oncology. These are the two recognized subspecialties. That is, of course, after your MD you can choose and you can get involved with that. So gynecology, oncology and the subfertility. And nowadays other subspecialties like fetal medicine, obstetric medicine, urogynecology, those are upcoming field, but not into them. There's another thing I would like to say for the junior people. I'm a general obstetrician and gynecologist, but I choose one area as my special interest. I choose one area as a special interest. So likewise, even though you become a general obstetrician and gynecologist, choose one particular area, fetal medicine, subfertility, urogynecology, or something as a special interest and work more towards it. Then you can master that one. Then you can do some research, academic activity on it. Then eventually, you are working the background of the obstetrics and gynecology care, you can do better for that, and wherever you are working, you can get some benefit, that society will get some benefit. So likewise, I would like to suggest, if you want to become a general obstetrician gynecologist, during your training, find out what is a more attraction or very passionate thing. So the passion is important. So these are the basic things I would like to say, and our program. This is our program. Selection exam as usual. You just after the internship. In the internship, there's 2023 amendments. There is no need to do the obstetrics and gynecology. If you do the other subjects also, but in the MO or SHO period, you have to do at least 6 months of obstetrics and gynecology is enough to sit for the exam. So internship, after that 1 year of medical officer period, and you can do it. The very important advice I would like to say from my experience, if you really want to do any post-graduate, do it as soon as possible. Do it as soon as possible. There are so many controls, there are so many things will restrict your constraints, but if you can, do it as much as possible. I sit the exam next year. And this is a pathway. So pre-MD training, after the registrar period is 3 years, and then the exit exam, and after that 1 year in Sri Lanka, at least 1 year in overseas. If you want it there, you can stay for 2 years and then go. So this is, of course, no need for that. You can just read it in that. If you have any concern, if you are like that, you can email me I would like to help you. Thank you.